And now I can identify every possible cloud type there is. So first thing every day, I'd go out and release the balloon. What's nice is, other people all over the world are doing the same thing, doing their bit to help forecast the weather, and that connects you, even if you're thousands of miles apart. That said, you can't wait to come inside again.
And then what you do at the scientific station gets compared to satellite data?
Exactly. Sometimes when people ask me what I do, they're surprised the weather in Antarctica affects the weather across the world. And also that people like us still go out and send up weather balloons, something meteorologists have been doing since the late 1800s. But from the balloons we get information on atmospheric pressure, temperature, humidity, and wind speed, things that can lead to dramatic weather events. We use those measurements to help establish the accuracy of the satellite data we're sent. It doesn't always seem to match up. So then the challenge is to work out why the differences occur.
Will you ever return?
If I went back, it would be for a shorter period of time.
Same here.
Moya and David, thank you.
You will hear part of an interview in which two meteorologists called Moya Cutts and David Wallace are talking about their work in Antarctica. For questions 1 to 6, choose the answer A, B, C or D, which fits best according to what you hear.
My guests today are Moya Cutts and David Wallace, two meteorologists who have worked in Antarctica. Welcome.
Hello.
Hi.
It can't be easy living in Antarctica. What kept you motivated, Moya?
Well, look, who wouldn't grab the chance to see Antarctica for themselves? The environment's so stunning and pristine. You've got the penguins and the albatross. If you look at our website later, you'll see some great photos. Generally, visitors aren't allowed near protected species, so we're privileged to be able to see them. Sure, the winters can seem long, but if you feel down, the team will support you. And we're all trying to achieve the same thing, to produce good science. I was always thinking there's more we can accomplish as a group. That's what drove me. It's a challenge, of course. You're in constant darkness for a good part of the winter, and if the snowstorms are bad, you stay inside.
With the recruitment process, is there a standardised way to see whether you have the right aptitude for the job?
A psychometric assessment? Not that I'm aware of. Generally, you go in front of a panel of interviewers and have a long chat. It's nerve-wracking at first, but they've all been through the challenges of Antarctica themselves, so they can judge how well people are going to do, and so that approach works. It's just really important to know what's lying ahead of you.
Actually, at my interview, I thought I was applying for a 16-month stretch, but at the end, they said, "We'd like you to go for 34. I was not expecting that. But they obviously believed I'd be up to the task, and definitely all those questions give both sides the information they need. Plus, I firmly believe that if you don't seize an opportunity, you end up regretting it. So, yeah, that was that.
And David, how did you deal with months on end of darkness?
You get yourself into a routine pretty fast. When you first get there are lots of activities to take part in, like you make presents for each other on Midwinter's Day, or do the best you can. You're pretty much confined to the station by that point, as the outside temperature is minus 50 to 60 degrees. That's when you think, can I get through this? And the other 10 people at the station are all thinking the same. Sometimes just the sound of someone walking down the hall will tell you whether they need to be left alone or whether they need company and a cup of tea. You just have to figure out how to get on with everyone. You go, okay, now I can put up with anything. I guess it's something that changes you. You won't still be that same person your friends and family used to know.
So after that, how do you return to normal society?
It's rather like culture shock. I spent all that time with just 10 people, and you have to pull your weight, not just with your specific job, but with the demands of communal living. So when I returned to London, I sort of expected everyone to be friendly and helpful, which they weren't. I'd happily start a conversation with anyone I'd meet. A few times, in a cafe, I found myself taking plates back to the kitchen. I'd have to remind myself that wasn't expected anymore.
And Moya, what about the research you were doing? You were in charge of the weather balloon, I believe.
That's right. I spent a lot of time looking into the sky. It's perfect because there's no light pollution to interfere with observations. And now I can identify every possible cloud type there is. So, first thing every day, I'd go out and release the balloon. What's nice is, other people all over the world are doing the same thing, doing their bit to help forecast the weather, and that connects you, even if you're thousands of miles apart. That said, you can't wait to come inside again.
And then what you do at the scientific station gets compared to satellite data?
Exactly. Sometimes when people ask me what I do, they're surprised the weather in Antarctica affects the weather across the world. And also that people like us still go out and send up weather balloons, something meteorologists have been doing since the late 1800s. But from the balloons, we get information on atmospheric pressure, temperature, humidity, and wind speed, things that can lead to dramatic weather events. We use those measurements to help establish the accuracy of the satellite data we're sent. It doesn't always seem to match up. So then the challenge is to work out why the differences occur.
Will you ever return?
If I went back, it would be for a shorter period of time.
Same here.
Moya and David, thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you what are the answers for each one, okay?
Okay.
Number one was letter D, sorry. D.
Okay. D.
D. Number two was letter C. As you can see,
C.
letter C.
Okay.
Number three was letter A.
Mm-hmm.
Number four, letter C. One more
Mm-hmm.
time. Number five, letter B. And number six, letter A.
A. Okay.
That is the answer key.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, how many right answers did you get?
Okay. 3.
Only three, okay. 3 out of 6.
Mm-hmm. Okay, the letter 5.
Would you like to take a look at the script?
Yeah. I don't know why letter
This
5
is the script.
is okay. Question 5. No, there are people all over the world are doing the same thing.
What is the word that you don't know why? The question number 5, did you say?
See, number 5.
Okay, number 5 says, Moya says that being in charge of the weather balloon gave her a sense of belonging to a community. So number 5 is exactly, okay, this is number 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
Okay, that is not difficult at all.
Okay, it's this. What is nice is other people all over the world are doing the same thing, doing their job, be it to help forecast the weather, and that connects you, even if you are thousands of miles apart. That's it. You can wait to come inside again. That is like she is evoking or denoting that it gives her a sense of belonging to a community.
Yeah, I got it.
Yes.
Okay, number 3.
Number 3 says, working through long periods of time led David to do what? It says, number 3 was here. 1, 2, 3. Asymptomatic assessments, alright. I think it's here. Let me see. Here it is. Actually, at my interview I was applying. No, in this part they identified all the questions give both sides where they need. Okay. It says when you first get here, there is a lot of activities to take part in. Like you make presents for each other, on Winter's Day, or do the best you can. You're pretty much confined to the station by that point, as the outside temperature is minus 50 to 60 degrees. That's when you think, can I get through this? In the other then, people at the station are all thinking the same. Sometimes just the sound of someone walking down the hall will tell you whether they need to be left alone or whether they need company and a cup of tea. You just have to figure out how to get on with everyone. You go, okay, now I can put up with anything. I guess it is something that changed you. You want to be you want to still be that same person, and your friends and family used to know. In this part, it
Mm-hmm.
is.
Mm-hmm.
At the moment that he mentioned that there is a lot of things to do, and for example, it says here that when he started wondering himself, can I get through this? It's like if you start wondering if you can deal with this, and that is why you have to be equipped better to deal with difficult situations.
Mm-hmm.
That is why. Number three.
Mm-hmm.
Any other?
And no, I don't think so.
Okay, that is the script. So let's keep moving on to the next part, and let's jump right into this one, the present and the future conditionals. It is only
Mm-hmm.
for making a reminder, okay? For
Mm-hmm.
example, as you know, the zero conditional, when do we use the zero conditional?
We use zero conditional for things that are real, that
Okay,
it
you have
couldn't
the options
change.
here.
Ah, okay, let me
Letter
see.
A, B, C. For example,
Yeah.
let's classify the first conditional and the second.
Ah, letter C, a situation which is generally true.
Yes, it's the first conditional.
Mm-hmm. Ah, no, zero conditional. It is
Yes,
isn't
zero
a
conditional
situation.
is a situation that is always true. Okay,
Yeah, the result was true.
and the first conditional
First condition.
is the B.
Result. Imaginary situation. No, there is a possible future
Yes,
situation that is probably with a
yes,
probability
it is a
result.
probable result. For example, if you
Mm-hmm.
look at the website later, you will see some great photos.
Yeah,
And the last one, the second conditional, is an
an
imaginary
imaginary
situation in the
situation.
present or the future. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that is. Look at the following alternative factors to those used in two of the above examples. How do those changes affect the possibility of the event occurring? For
Mm-hmm.
example, the first one says, if you happen to look at the website later, you will see some great photos.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think it could be like? These changes can affect the possibility of the event to occur.
Okay, if you happen to look at my WhatsApp later, you'll see some great photos. Eh,
Okay, first of all, we have to look at this phrase. If you happen to look, what do you think it means?
if you happen to look, if you go to take a look to my website,
Yes, si por casualidad miras. If you
ah,
happen to look, yeah,
if you happen to look,
that is the
okay.
meaning. Okay, you can say, and it is an structure. For example, if you say, if you happened to find this, si por casualidad encuentras, y in this way it works with all of the verbs.
Mm,
If you happen to do something,
if you happen
to do something,
to,
okay? Si
yeah,
por
okay,
casualidad.
there is casualidad, no?
Yes, right? It's possibility. Okay, the next one. If we were to go back, it will be a shorter period of time. For example, in the first one, what is the difference? It says in the first conditional, if you look at our website later, you will see some great photos. In the other one, it says if you happen to look at my website later, you will see some great photos. So what differences can you notice here?
Time?
The time, or because it says how do these changes affect the possibility of the event occurring?
Hmm.
For example, it is for sure in the first one that says if you look at the website later, you will see it is for sure that it will happen.
Ah, you will see, yeah, there is kind of more sure that happen
Yes,
that the use of
it's
would,
more
right?
likely to happen, right?
Yeah, more likely.
Okay, and the second one says if I were to go back, and the other one says if I went back.
Mm-hmm.
What is the
Yeah,
difference?
That the second one is something imaginary that it couldn't happen because it is saying if I were to go back, if that is no possibility situation.
Okay,
Would be there's like a regret.
it's the difference I'm gonna tell you in Spanish. Okay, for example, if I went back, you know what it means, right? Si yo
Mhm,
volviera atrás. But the other
mhm.
one says, if I were to go back, quiere decir si tú tuvieras que volver atrás. O
Mm,
si tuviera que volver atrás. If I were to go back. That is why it's there the preposition to. If I were to go
okay.
back.
If I were to go back.
Yes.
Okay.
So what is the difference? What is more likely to happen, the first one or the second one? If I went
The
back or if I were to go back?
the first one.
Yes, right?
Hmm.
Because it's an imaginary situation in the present or in the future, but it is a little bit more likely to happen.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Now we have the following activity. In some situations, if, right, can be followed by will, would, or going to in the same clause. It depends on the sentence.
Yeah.
You have to match each of the functions in the box, right? We have insistence, intention, play request is done. Refusal, result, and willingness. With
Hmm.
one of the sentences from 1 to 5, sorry, according to the idea expressed in the if clause. Okay, for example, number 0 says, if you will come this way, Mrs. Taylor will see you now.
Hmm.
It is like a polite request, right? Number 1,
Hmm.
if you will keep eating chocolate, it is no wonder you are feeling ill.
Um.
It's a result, it's a willingness, it's a refusal, it's an intention, or it's an insistence.
Um. Okay. Then, if you will keep eating chocolate, it's no wonder you're feeling ill. Like a refusal,
It is a result.
a result. Okay.
Yes, because when we use, for example, in this case, it's like the verb, as you know, this is the immediate future. The verb
Hmm.
to be and the verbs with ing form. It's very
Hmm.
similar like the present continuous. For
Yeah.
example, it is with like, it would say, it is no wonder you will feel ill. You're
Mm.
feeling ill, but right now, at the moment, immediately, if you keep eating chocolate at that
Hmm.
time, right? So, if you keep is a result. So let me cross it out.
Okay.
Next, number 2. If you won't turn your music down, we will just have to call the police. What is that? A refusal, an
Okay.
intention?
Understands illnesses. That I suppose refusal. There's again
It's
something.
a rechazo,
Yeah. No. I mean,
or
if you
maybe
don't
an
turn
insistence or an intention.
insistence, I don't know. I suppose insistence.
It is a refusal.
Refusal. That
Yes.
is, if you don't do this, I will do that.
Okay, perfect. Let me see. Number 3. If you, sorry, if it help you relaxed, right? If it'll help you relaxed, I'll get you a drink or something.
If he'll
One more
help
time,
to
this
relax,
is a result.
a result.
Yes,
Hmm.
for example, if this helps you get relaxed, I will get
Hmm.
you a drink or something else, right? So
Hmm.
that's a result. Next, if we are going to go for a walk, I think we should leave now.
Mm, insistence,
In this case, it's an intention
intention.
because you have there. If you are going to go for a walk, you had better to leave now. It's an intention that you have.
Mm.
Yes. Number 5. If you would just let me explain, I am sure you would change your mind.
I okay. If you will just let me explain, I'm sure you change your mind. I don't know. Insistence,
In this case, is willingness. You know what is
willingness.
willingness, right?
No, I don't know.
Disposition or
Ah,
the
position.
volunty. La voluntad o la disposición of something, of doing something. For example, if you would just let me explain, I am sure that you would change in some way your mind. It means that you are willing to do that.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, okay. Perfect. Let me explain you this. I think it could be here. Yes. Present and future conditionals. We're going to work with some examples that you're going to provide me with. Okay, so number one, zero conditional. If, as you know, is if plus present perfect and the present perfect as well. So we use the zero conditional to talk about situations which are always true. If I eat too much spicy food, I start to feel ill. Okay, that is clear. Number two, first conditional, we use it to talk about possible future results, situations, and their probable results in the future, of course, or in the present. If you don't water that plant soon, it will die, right? Then we have if plus. This is the structure. Plus should or plus happen, right? Happen to, or should happen to, makes the event seem more unlikely or more of a chance of possibility. It is less likely to happen. If I happen to see Mr. D there, I will ask him for you. Si tengo, por casualidad lo veo, ¿no? If I happen to see. And then, a more formal variation is to begin with should. It's more formal even. Should you wish to change your holiday arrangements, we will do all we can to help. It is like an inversion. Yes. Next, the second conditional. If, as you know, plus past simple, would, might, or could, modal verbs plus infinitive. The first use is that we use it when the second conditional to talk about imaginary, unlikely, or impossible situations in the present and the future as well. For example, if I had an extra pair of hands, then I could help you. But it is only an imaginary situation. Next, if plus word to, as I told you, plus infinitive makes the event seem more unlikely, is less likely to happen. If you were to walk in that direction for another 1,000 miles, you would eventually arrive in Warsaw. You see? Okay. Next, a more formal variation is to begin with where, as for example in should, in the first one. Were they to break the contract, we would of course take legal action. One more time, it is as if it was a conditional, sorry, an inversion. Where? Number two. Next, supposing, or imagine can be used instead of if, right? Particularly in a speech. For example, supposing it is to be if it was possible, if it was supposed to. Supposing you ran out of money, what would you do? It is we use this instead of the clause if. And number four, if can be followed by will, would, or going to when making polite requests or describing the result of a course of action. For example, if you could take a seat for a moment, I will tell Mr. Graydon that you are here. You see? Or maybe if it is going to be more profitable for the company, then I think we should do it. And it is all. Maybe do you have any questions about this?
No, that is interesting. I never had see that uses for the second
That is a
conditional.
more advanced way to use the conditionals. Okay, so let's go over the page number 218, please.
218.
218. Let me see. I think it's 220. 218, yes. Yes, here it is. In this
Yeah.
part, you have all of this explanation, right? So it's 8 in the present, the future conditions, hypothetical situations as well. Okay, in this part we're going to practice this. Okay, let me see. If it we have to choose what is the alternative in italics. Okay, if it weren't, or if it hadn't, or if it wouldn't for my broken leg, I would think I would enter in about the London Marathon again. So what do you think it is?
Mm,
How do you say in English
well,
si no fuera por?
yeah, I was thinking, how is the way? If I
In
were,
this
if it
case is if it weren't.
weren't, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you say if it hadn't, you say in
Mm.
Spanish si no hubiera sido por.
Hubiera, uh-huh.
Yes. That is. So it is if it weren't for my broken leg, I would think
Mhm.
about entering the London Marathon again. Number two. It is very unlikely you will see her at the concert, but if you happen, but if you should, or but if you were bumped into her,
Mm,
give her my regards.
you you should butt into her.
Yes, perfect. But if you should, bump into her. Right, perfect. Next,
Mhm.
supposing, provided, or unless you can face to face with a bull, what might be the sensible thing to do?
Okay. Um, I think is unless, but by the context, I
Okay,
think
I'm
I
gonna I'm gonna
suppose
I'm
that
gonna
is
tell you.
supposing.
Yeah, supposing it is
Yeah,
because what
surely
might
it's
be?
supposing.
It is like a
Mhm.
possibility.
Yeah,
Might. What might be? So
but
supposing that you
yeah,
come across with a bull, what might be the sensible
uh-huh.
thing to do? Okay. Number four.
Yeah. In my context, I think I surely say unless you came face to face with a bull.
Remember that it couldn't be unless in provided nor because it says unless a menos de que.
Yeah, my
It doesn't
translation
fit in the
is
context. The
different.
only one is supposing.
Yeah, a no ser que you came face to
Yes.
face with a bull.
Suponiendo que te encuentres con un bull.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Next. If you just let me explain, I am sure you might, or you would change your mind.
If you just let me explain, I'm sure you.
The one is an example that we had explained to you.
Yeah. Mm,
Is would.
you would change
Yes,
your
you
mind.
would change your mind. Perfect. Number five. Unless or as long as or imagine we have sufficient funds, we expect to begin the expedition early next year.
Yeah, I suppose. Imagine we have sufficient funds.
I know you know this. Please try to guess
Yeah,
according to the context.
yeah, we have sufficient funds to begin the expedition early next year. Unless.
Unless, perfect.
Yeah, unless
Unless,
unless we have sufficient funds.
no, in this case it's as
No?
long as. Why?
As long as.
Because as long as we have the sufficient money, we expect to begin the expedition on next year.
As long as. Hmm?
Yes.
Why
Siempre y
is
cuando.
that?
Siempre y cuando.
Mm,
Siempre y cuando tengamos los suficientes financiamientos, esperamos empezar la expedición el año siguiente.
mm,
Ujú. En cambio, ¿cuál es la diferencia? What is the difference between unless or as long as?
mm,
Unless means a menos que, but as
mhm,
long as means siempre y cuando.
mm.
That is the difference. You have to
And what is the
understand.
difference into the context? A no ser, a menos que.
In this case, it's for example, it's more like more. How can I say that? It's like it denotes a more mandatory sense, a rigorous sense, as long as, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's like it is more unlikely to happen.
Mm.
That is the difference.
Okay.
And
Okay, okay.
imagine, of course, not. It doesn't fit here.
Yeah.
Okay. And number six, does anyone imagine, or does anyone happen, or supposed to know what time Rob Jackman is giving his presentation?
What? to know what time is given his presentation. Does anyone imagine to know?
Does anyone happen to, as I told you?
Happen to, yeah, happen
Does
to,
anyone happen to know?
yeah, happen to
Por
know.
casualidad,
Por
alguien sabe.
casualidad.
Yes,
Does
that
anyone
is
to know what time? Yeah, 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 yeah.
perfect. Great.
Okay, I get it.
Next, we have here one more time the differences unless and as long as. Okay, number one, unless action is taken immediately, the situation will surely get worse or wouldn't get better.
Hmm. Eh, unless action is taken immediately, the situation wouldn't get better.
Wouldn't get better. This one
Yeah,
says will surely get worse.
I get a gap in that part. Unless I was figuring out that is unlikely, less likely to happen. Yeah,
Yes.
but I think, well, or I suppose, unless would fit with because it's even unlikely to happen. The both.
Okay, in this part we have to analyze the context. Unless
Mm-hmm.
action is taken, right? It's clear.
Mm-hmm.
Unless we take action on that immediately, that is the clue. Immediately. It means that it is very, very urgency. It's mandatory. You cannot
Mm-hmm.
take action. The situation will get worse.
Mm-hmm. Will get
That
worse.
is one.
Okay.
Mhm. Number two, as long as Rick remains as team leader, morale is low amongst the staff or will continue to drop.
Yeah. Remains as team leader. Morale is low among the staff.
As long as, mientras Rick
Mm-hmm.
se mantenga como el líder del grupo, la moral, ¿qué sucederá? What will happen with moral?
Will continue dropping.
Yes, will continue to drop. Perfect. Mhm.
Mm.
Number three, if you will play that game or if you are to play that game.
Mm. That game till 2 a.m. every night. Of course, you'll feel tired. Yeah. If
It
you
says
are to
you,
play,
yes, if you will
you
play.
are. Mm.
Because it says, of course, it is for sure that it will happen. Of course,
Mm.
you will feel tired. Remember that if you use if you are to of if you were to, it is less likely to happen.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Number four, if I would accept that promotion or if I were to accept that promotion, I
Uh,
assume there would be a pay rise.
that's cool. Um,
Remember, don't get keep focused. Don't miss confused. I told you that
okay.
if you
The
okay,
both are similar but different context. I think the letter B it is like the structure for the second conditional, and the first one is like the structure to the first conditional using with.
you know what is the clue? Is assume. It says I assume.
Assume.
It means that it is less likely to happen.
I assume. I suppose that is
So
if I
it wouldn't.
were to accept,
Yes, if
that
I
there
were
is
to
less likely
accept.
to happen.
Yes,
If I
if I
were
were
to
to
accept.
accept the promotion, I assume that there will be a pay rise. Okay, that is
Mm,
when you use if you are to or if I were to, it is less likely to happen.
yeah, that is the lowest, right? If I
Yes,
were, that is something imaginary.
yes,
Yeah.
that is number five. Should you happen to wait, or if you wouldn't mind waiting, here a moment, I will get someone to help you with the luggage.
To look at. Here a moment. Should you happen to
It
write?
is a polite
I think,
request.
yeah, that is a polite, right? That is
Mhm.
something polite. Should you happen to wait, right?
In not necessarily should because it is like more formal, but it is very likely to happen. In this case, is
Mm,
wouldn't mind. It's a very
wouldn't
polite
mind.
request. If you would mind, remember that if we use would mind always, it's a very very formal polite request.
You wouldn't mind.
Waiting
Waiting.
here for a moment. I will get someone to help you with the luggage. Alright?
Mm,
For example, if you use here should you happen to wait, it means that if you were imposed to follow that advice.
mm-hmm.
Yes, so that is why you have to use if you would mind waiting here. Number 6. Provided your visa is valid, you can continue to stay in the country or you will keep on staying in the country.
Yeah, there is something sure to
Yes,
happen, right? What is more surely that happen? Will or can continue? I
can
think
continue.
can continue, right?
Yes, can
Can
continue.
continue to
You are
stay in a
able to
country.
continue because your visa
Mhm,
is valid. It works.
mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so I think it could be, we're gonna, we had to work on this, but later on. Okay, so let's go back to page number 38.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna practice the speaking part too, the long term.
Mhm.
But first, I want you to take a look at this useful language that you have in this box. For example, you have in regards or in terms of which research. I think it might be the most useful. I would say that. Or maybe the obvious or the main choice for the most useful research project is this kind of started phrasing. Okay, the
Mhm.
most useful research would or it would not be without adopts have to be this one. Or it is impossible to nominate or to determine which research project could be the most useful as this one, for example. Yeah.
Mhm.
So in this part, you have to take a look at these 3 photographs.
Okay.
Let me zoom it out. And the question is, what might the people be researching about? And what challenges they maybe have to face?
Mm. Okay.
Okay, please give it a try.
Eh, ah, okay. Eh, Regarding the first photograph, I can see a guy who is in so unbelievable place.
Do you remember this phrasal verb glimpse into?
Blinks into?
Mm-hmm. Don't you remember?
No,
Glimpse into something.
blinks. Ah,
Vislumbrar, right? So the man over
blinks.
there is glimpsing into the nature or the, maybe it tends to
Hmm.
be I don't know, a jungle, right?
Yeah, it looks like a jungle.
Yes.
Yeah, but there is like uh, Amazonic place. Could be even
Yes.
an Ecuadorian place, right? Um,
It tends to
there
be a rainforest.
Yeah, there is a rainforest for sure. I can see different by the nature. There is completely topically there. It looked like it's searching for maybe a species or something specific, like a plant for to create or develop
Yes.
a new medicine. Uh, Whereas in the next photograph regarding the this photograph that is in the Antarctica, maybe we can see a guy who is taking photos, maybe different landscapes, something incredible, maybe just taking a photo about a interesting for the nature, or even a possible natural disaster could be.
Yeah.
Whereas in the last one, we can see a group of scientific people researching maybe a cure or a vaccine. By the way, that is maybe a new sickness or illness or even a new virus, as would be in 2022, the coronavirus. Learning of what that said, I think the challenges of the different for all these people, they are facing the challenge of try to discover, to analyze something that is no one know it, and that is the challenge to try to find something specific in something that is a word of new things, like in a network to new information or in a no explored uh, piece of the science. That is, I think, could
Okay,
be the most.
my dear Diego, what do you think it could be the setting or maybe the project on which they may find it very, very difficult to came up with a solution, for example, or to came up with a hypothetical situation, maybe about their what they are searching about.
Hmm, I'm not sure. Okay, what could be the
For
most?
example, as you know, all of the scientists in all over the world, they base their research on hypotheses, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Right. And what do you think it could be the most difficult, I don't know, searching project or research project in which they might find it very, very difficult to reach to a proper or a suitable hypothesis for their project?
I think the most difficult part that whatever scientific is facing in the part of to propose a hypothesis is to face the people who is against the proposal that they are trying to explain, trying to give a new point of view. There is happened for a long time ago, for example, with the theory of the planet, the earth is not the center of the universe. That is something that at the moment that was so unlikely to believe because in that time the people was completely sure that our planet was the center of the universe, but that was in that way, a cause of the death of the several scientifics, But with the pass of the year, that hypothesis was belonging to take more effort. And right now, is the hypothesis that we know that is completely true. It's
All
truly,
right. Nice.
yeah. I think that is the facing part to propose a hypothesis.
Great. Okay. So let's go over another question. Okay, if you were to choose, right? If you were to choose, being a teacher or being a scientific, which one would you be appealing to?
Hmm, that is interesting. Overall, for me, being completely honest in my point of view, uh, if I could change something, I think I maybe choose to be a scientific due to the fact that I love to read or being taking part in the way to discover, to try to find the new things, like to propose the different hypotheses in the way that I love to propose things that is maybe not completely assure that that is unlikely to the people thinking that in those things, but I feel good to try to find information, try to discover something new, try to do something.
Yes, for
Okay,
the well-being of the humanity, right?
yeah, for not at all, maybe it just could be
Or maybe for the
maybe
betterment of the society.
yeah, yeah, for the wellnesses of just for yeah, for the society could be, but there is not the way that I hated my job because I love to be a teacher, but yeah, that could be a good opportunity to get a change.
Okay, another question related to this topic. Contrary to popular belief, most people think, I think, that being a scientist, it could be a very, very rewarding and also exciting experience, and an exciting job, of course. But most of the people suppose that this job implies or involves like something, it could be very, very boring. What do you think about that?
Hmm. That that give us a glimpse of how the society think,
Yes.
the just at the first glance how people describe a job just for to taking a look, right? Because in that way you can say that teacher could be a horrible job, or maybe just being a medic is a lovely job. That
Yes.
is not completely true. Yeah, that is the way how the people try to convince themselves or try to convince the rest of the people that their point of view is the correct. There is a not a good way from my point of view, being a scientist is also, as you say, a good job. That is exciting. That is maybe something different in the way that you are trying to discover something that is undiscovered, right?
Alright, my dear Diego. So let me show you another one that is related to this part.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Go to the page number 200. No, just let me see. What? Okay. This one. Here it is. Okay. With
Okay.
this we finish. Just in 1 or 2 minutes, please. What kind of information might these people want to obtain, and why might they have chosen to this way to obtain this information? There you are, three
Mm.
paragraphs.
Okay. Can you zoom out just a little?
Okay, let me see. Yes, there you go.
Okay, let me see the question. Okay. At the first glance, in the three different pictures, we have different situations. Regarding the first one, I see medical professional of the healthness. There is maybe regarding a new way to breathe correctly, because that is something interesting that in recently result recently in regarding there are a way how to breathe and another way to get more force, more force for the jobs. That is kind of interesting. In the second one, at the difference to the first one, I see a guys that look like engineers who is regarding the altitude of something, maybe for the building. They are trying to obtain information, maybe of the land that they are preparing to build something. Whereas in the last one, I can see
It's a
uh,
journalist.
a journalist, right? Who is interviewing a guy who maybe is in the final part of now football match that look interesting to regard information of how the match works, how the match ended, or how was the emotion, the feelings that this guy had during the match.
Yes.
What made these people choosing the way to obtain the information? Well, in the three different photos, we can see that that is completely different. That is just maybe with that with different questions, or maybe just with taking notes, maybe with trying to figuring out what is the altitude, the numbers, those whole complicated things. Whereas in the first one, that is important to take into consideration the different things that maybe the heart, maybe the breed, or how the people feel. It is just with a headache or whatever of those things that is important to take into consideration,
Okay, to keep in mind. To keep in mind. Don't worry.
to keep in mind.
Don't forget, sorry.
Mhm.
Okay, you have to tell me which of these three ways, according to you, might provide the more reliable information.
Mm. Eh, for sure, I think is the first one
Yes.
that give us the more necessary information, but what is more important for us, because it gives us something that is related with our body, related with maybe medicine, or
And is
uh,
based on medical and scientific
yeah,
foundations, right?
it's medical and scientific foundation, yeah, for sure. Whereas in the two race photos, it's just like maybe for something or feeling, or just a popular opinion.
Okay, perfect. So with that, we're gonna finish this lesson, okay? So just let me
Okay.
get through. The next lesson we're gonna practice. Let me see where it is. Okay, by the way, I guess due to the fact that you were ill, I don't know if you have ready your writing assignments.
Yeah, I did the part of the proposal. Would
Your
you like to
notes,
see it on Friday?
yeah, on Friday. Because I guess that right now we don't have them because we have only like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Uh,
it was there were two writing task, right?
yep.
one was the proposal, and the other one I don't remember what it was.
The other one was the review.
Other review. Okay. Let me take a look at this one. Okay, so the next part we continue from listening part 1 and so on. Okay, so let me open up the workbook. Here it is, the workbook. Let me see. Yes. Okay. Please, as a homework, in order you to practice whenever you have free time, I would like you to carry out these pages, please. From 15 and 14, I guess. I don't know, I don't remember if I send you a homework page number 14.
Okay, let me
In
tell
the
you
case
the
that
last
I
one.
haven't sent you yet, please.
Yeah,
14,
that is sent you.
yeah. So 15, 16.
Okay.
16 and 17 if you can. Okay, because it is
Okay.
all about the grammar part. It is very
Mhm.
useful in order you to practice and you keep up the pace of this course. All right.
Okay, got it.
Any question or maybe any comment about today's lesson? Something that you didn't get it at all, maybe? Or was
Mm,
everything clear?
no, okay, I think I
The
have
conditionals, maybe.
no conditionals. It was just the way to take a look. Oh, yeah, no, don't worry.
Nope, there is not. Okay, please. So let me take a look at take today's attendance screenshot. Okay.